right, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great week and getting ready for a good weekend. I have been very, very busy this week. It has been nonstop. Glad to see so many people already in here. Lulu, awesome to hear that you're going to be listening to us from work. Hope you have a good night out there. Just so I don't forget, if you are in here, be sure to smash the like button. It helps the channel out a lot. I knew some people tend to get on to me. They say I don't tell you all that enough. So smash that like button. Let's get those likes up there. All right, let's see who all we got in here starting out. Let some more people trickle in as we get going. Mysterious, good to see you tonight. Mangrove, good to see you again. Maru the Wanderer, good evening. Bernaldez, hey man, good to see you. Bernaldez, remember when Peachy joins, everyone say, oh, Peachy. Yes, everyone do that. Oh, there she is. Enter it, people, enter it. Hello, Peachy. Selena, welcome. Yeras, welcome. Good to see you again. Noctis, good evening. Oh, there you go, everybody. Get the OPGs in there. And Goddess Neath, welcome. Doing pretty good here. Doing pretty good. Hope everyone's actually doing good this evening. Welcome, Wendy. Dropping in for a bit to say you're not dead. That's okay. Everybody needs to take a break and recharge. Happens. I need one. I don't get one, but I need one. Teradar, welcome. Good to see you again. Jade, hey, you made it. Tea time. There you go. Actually, before I forget about it, also again we got 18 people in here and 8 likes, so smash that like button. I've had some awesome comments this week that honestly they're a little unbelievable, but it's great all the same. Comments of people how much they love the channel, how the channel's actually improved their practice, and in 2 cases they've actually used the phrase "change their life," which is beyond humbling from my perspective. Y'all, I appreciate it so much. All the great comments I get all the time. Really does make the work worthwhile. I highly appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but we got jets flying over. It's late at night, so we got a little extra jet noise, free of no extra charge. It's a bonus with the grab bag of the live streams. Smooches, back to you, Tara. Jay, welcome. Hey, hey. Luna, glad to see you made it. Ronaldus, you can hear him just a little in the background. Well, at least it's not too bad. It's a lot louder over here. That is for sure. Well, here it's actually Friday the 13th, in fact, Freya's Day. Friday 13th has always been lucky for me and my wife. It's always been a great day for us, so we always look forward to them. So we've had a pretty good day, gotta admit. Era. I told you I'd keep screwing it up. I'm going to try and get it. Era. Don't change your name on my account. I'm just some goofy guy. I'm going to get it. I'm determined here. I am determined. Screen was blank, but you fixed it. Well, that's good to hear. Yes, Friday the 13th actually was originally considered to be a blessed and lucky day. It did get twisted a little because basically the day the Knights Templar got turned on and then slaughtered was actually Friday the 13th. And that was the day that the concept of it flipped for bad luck was. Um, so just like many superstitions, it just caught on across the board. But until that point, it was actually viewed as a very lucky day, as Friday within the modern calendar does attach to the Norse goddess Freya. Um, and even the number 13 is viewed as one of the numeric representations and a number of Freya's. Pardon me. So it's kind of like Freya's day doubled over. So definitely a really powerful day for, abundance, blessings, power, relationships, new beginnings, those kinds of things. Which is pretty much what I've experienced my whole life, even before I knew the lore behind it. So, hello from, welcome. Also, the name of one of my favorite slasher movies back when I was a kid, Friday the 13th. DC, welcome. Okay, so this week I have stayed very, very busy. Me and Odin's been working on a few projects. I've also been in touch with Inanna. Me and her are laying out the details of how we're going to present and go over the descent into the underworld ritual as a guided meditation. That is one thing her and I both decided it should be a guided meditation. I talked about this during the Halloween stream, and a lot of people were really interested in the concept of doing that kind of a meditation. And because of that, I have gotten back in touch with her, which is really nice to reconnect with her. And we've been laying out exactly how you would do that now, how we would set that up. And we're working on the logistics for getting it into a YouTube video for the channel. It'll probably be January before I get that out, but we are working on it, her and I, quite a bit. But do rest assured that is coming. This Tuesday, I believe, we actually released the next lesson in the Rune Magic class. So look forward to that. And we did recently finish the editing of the Lucifer video. Yeah, Lucifer. I know y'all been looking forward to that one, so that one is coming. Do keep your eyes out for that one. So it has been a very, very busy week over here. Let's see what we got. See, Tara, I get really good vibes from Friday the 13th. Maybe I like the bad luck stereotype, which makes me think it's actually what. That's something we were talking about, Tara. It actually is. It was viewed as a lucky day. It just one incident's what changed it. And ultimately, energetically, Friday the 13th is actually a lucky day, unless you buy into the bad luck, and then you can actually change that vibration against you. So for all the extra luck, you could shift it to bad luck. But for those of us who never really bought into it, it tends to end up being lucky. Yep, Mangrove, we got the Inanna meditation coming. Anytime I work with an entity, y'all know I want to make sure I work right alongside them and make sure they're happy with it and everything. So I've pulled out my old notes and I'm going back over them with her and how to take that ritual and that meditation process and shift it over to a guided meditation that will work in a YouTube video and be usable for you all. And our goal actually is to have it ready around New Year's, because it is kind of a new beginning style ritual. It's kind of an end and a beginning. So I'd really like to have it around New Year's if possible, but definitely within January. See what we got. Nomar, any tips, Drake, on building good friendships with spirits? I resonate more with your approach rather than putting them above you. Yeah, in general, first thing you want to do is approach them with respect. Now, do be careful if you're working with human spirits. That is one thing. Human spirits have a tendency to, even if they don't mean to do it, if you're around them, they're going to draw some measure of life force from you because that's kind of how they actually connect with this side. It's not malevolent in any way, but you do want to be careful if you're working with them repeatedly and in long terms, it can have an effect. But that's strictly human spirits that are of human beings that have passed on. Okay. But dude, any spirit, treat with respect. Um, get to know it. Try to get to know it on a personal level, and definitely, you know, try to, if you can, offer it a beverage or food or something like that. Now, if it's an entity and you know it has a specific preference, try to tune into that. Like Lucifer tends to like red wine. I know that. So I often try to have red wine if I'm doing any specific workings with him. But even if I don't, not doing something specific, I usually try to offer him something to drink no matter what. Same thing with Odin. Um, but the best way to build those friendships is to actually take time to spend with them, just get to know them the same way you would an actual person. You want to sit down, you want to have a conversation, and you want to spend time with them. You want to make time for them. In fact, many magicians I know have actually said the best thing you can do is give your time. That's really one of the best ways to do it. But actually take the time to develop that relationship and build a true friendship. And that's where you're really going to get your best results, and treat every individual spirit, whether, deity or whatever, it doesn't matter what type of spirit you're working with. Approach them with respect and just get to know them as an individual. That way you can build up that friendship and relationship between the two of you. Lauren, welcome. Glad you made it. Mangrove, I had some bad luck today, but it ended up being a really good thing. Awesome. That's good to hear. At least it flipped for you like that. Selena, thoughts on shifting? That word's used in about 1,000 different ways. Which method of shifting are we talking about? Are we talking shape shifting in the astral? Are we talking about shifting from one plane to the other as in astral travel or soul travel? Are we talking about shifting boxes from one pallet to the other? Are we talking about shifting hay from the bottom of the barn to the top of the barn, which, by the way, sucks? So I'd need to know a bit more clarification on that, Selena. Lauren, listening in while I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so might be a bit silent tonight. Well, that's okay. That's okay, Lauren. That's okay. I'm considering trying that game. I haven't really had time to play much of anything, but yeah, that's actually one. I'm hoping it's as good as people are saying it's going to be. Okay, Selena, so shifting your consciousness from one reality, parallel universe to another. Okay, this is a question that has been oddly coming up like 8 times a week. Not necessarily 8 times a stream, but it's been showing up a lot lately. Shifting your consciousness actually requires a form of soul travel. You actually need to be able to shift your entire consciousness and soul to do it. And yes, you can shift from one reality or parallel universe to the other. Now, the ideal here is in somewhere out there in the infinites of the multiverse, there's a timeline where essentially your ideal life exists. Now, the way I've seen this used over the last few weeks and what people are talking about, though, I'm not a big fan of this, and I'll tell you why. Everyone talks about it as using it to basically leave this reality, pick the reality they want, put themselves there, and live that reality. Here's the problem. That is possible. It is possible. I'm not going to say that's not. But here's the problem. Your soul has what's called an energetic attunement anchor. This is a vibration that actually matches a specific vessel and reality. And this is where shifting, as they're calling it, gets a little tricky. Because in order to shift from this reality to the other, you actually have to match the vibrational frequency of the reality you're looking for. Okay? Now, if you have any experience with soul travel, not astral travel, you actually cannot do this with astral travel. Astral travel, you're basically creating a holographic version, living out just basically a daydream. But with soul travel, it is doable. The problem is with soul travel, you have to maintain your focus at all times. And if your focus ever wavers, you snap back to your body. Now, this is where the problem really ties in with shifting, because in order to shift and maintain it, you would have to stay for so long. Every magician I've talked to about this who has actually done experiments have found that you would need to stay shifted for well over 45 days to actually fully transition your soul's vibration from one vessel to the other permanently. And we don't know actually how far past 45 days you would need to go. We just do know from research and all this that it is clearly past 45 days. Now, this is 45 days continual, unbroken, uninterrupted soul travel. This has many, many problems with it. First off, name someone that you know that can maintain a meditative trance, much less soul travel, for even 2 weeks straight. Secondly, food and water. There's your problem. You got to find a way to maintain your body and keep it alive and functional during this entire process. Because if your body drops dead and its anchor to the physical world is officially cut, you pass on. Doesn't matter what dimension you're in. Doesn't matter what reality you're in. Doesn't matter if you're temporarily inhabiting a physical vessel. If the current vessel that is tied and anchored to your soul dies, your soul goes on. That's it. End of story. Moving on. So you've got to make sure that during the entire 45 plus days, your body is maintained safe, live, and well. And that means you got to overcome dehydration, famine, all these other things, starvation. There's a lot of things that you have to handle. And even if you get past the physiological side of it, there's the making sure you go uninterrupted at all in some fashion that no one can get to you and harm you. There's just so many ways that this exponentially that this can go wrong. And the problem is if the process isn't completed 100%, the second you wake up, the second you snap into your original body, all work is undone, period. Just reset. That is with how they use it in the text. Now, if you wanted to use soul travel just to visit these parallel dimensions and poke around and learn a thing or two, that's the same as any other version of soul travel. And there's really no reason to give it a new name, but that is totally doable. And actually, it can be a lot of fun. Really can be a lot of fun. Selena, I hope this technical rant maybe answered some questions there. And I hope I answered the correct questions, considering how much I went on a rant there. And my apologies. Let's see. Eras. I woke up 1 minute past midnight, so I hadn't even been Friday the 13th for 2 minutes. But my neighbor listening to Adele, I thought, what a way to start a Friday the 13th. You know, y'all is going to roll your eyes and probably facepalm at this, but Adele must be somebody popular. Because I keep hearing this name, and clearly it's a singer or a musician of some kind. I don't know who they are. I don't. Sorry. But they appear to have a lot of fans, so they must actually be popular. Oh, that's good coffee. This is good. This is extra good coffee, by the way, because my wife's home from her little away trip, so she made it extra good for me. Yay. And of course, I'm drinking it in our Dragon's Azazel coffee cup that you can get in the merch store. All right, let's see where we're at here. Okay. I would definitely recommend it. It's a good representation of Norse faith for sure. Okay, cool. I'll put that on my to look at list there, Lauren. I still got a game or two around here I got to knock off before I go buying it. Well, okay, who am I kidding? We're actually in the official part of the year where Drake ain't allowed to buy anything for himself that doesn't count as work related. And I don't care how I stretch it, bend it, or flex it. There's no way a video game is going to count as work related. So unless I get it for Christmas, it's definitely going to be something that's going to be after the Yule season. Well, soul travel for the most part, Terror is very, very safe in the normal constraints of it. Even if you get yourself killed in the other planes, you just snap back to your body and wake up. So it's no more dangerous than meditation and trance, at least in those concepts. Now, if you fall into really deep trances and you're prone to do that, then I would do something to keep yourself relatively safe from physical intruders, if you will. But that's pretty easy to do too. You can lock the door. Heck, you can even set some cans in front of the door to make a noise and snap you out of it. It's the extended soul travels that would be, honestly, until you go past 24 hours, I'd say you're in the safe zone. But there is the mental strain that soul travel does put on, because if you get hurt in soul travel, if there's no difference between being hurt in soul travel and being hurt in the physical, it friggin' hurts. It hurts so bad you'll actually see red marks appear on you quite often. Sometimes even full scratches. Now, granted, you get stabbed, you won't have a big gaping wound, but do not underestimate the damage that pain can cause to the psyche. That is very important. And since you do experience the pain in its fullest, if not fuller than physical, you do need to be aware of that concept. Other than that, pretty safe. Let's see here. You can shift your reality here, just shift your mental attitude and willing to change. Yes, it takes work. Well, TC, that's basically what magic is. You literally shape your reality to your choosing. That's what I've been doing with my life. That's how I'm literally a professional wizard at this point. Yeah, and you can shape your life as you want. That's the whole premise of magic. And yeah, shaping your mental attitude alone, massive, massive real changes you can make there. That's one of the reasons I was asking what the definition of shifting was that we were working with. And they specifically was talking about those realities. So I had to address it accordingly to that. Oh yeah, always travel safe. Woo, whoa, whoa. Okay, we're jumping. We're jumping. I'm behind. Okay, gotcha. Yes, that really helped. Thank you. You're welcome, Selena. Oh no, Drake, you poor hun. Is that for not knowing who Adele is, Tara? Well, getting woke up's never any fun, that's for sure. And so Adele is a very famous singer. See, this shows you how much I do research. I don't keep up with the fads and stuff. So yeah, I'll have to look him or her up at some point. And now everybody's just, oh Drake, you poor thing. Okay. Bernaldus, not all that important. Thank you, Bernaldus. Thanks for having my back on this at least. I don't know if that's a help or a threat, Luna. I really don't. Yeah, one of my guardians is behind me, and there is actually a Loa um, standing right over here. Oh no, I'm never alone. Never alone in this house. That's for sure. I can make a lot of complaints about my profession, my chosen life, and my chosen path. Being alone is not one of the complaints. Never lonely. I could possibly complain about never being alone. That would be that. I could do it that way. Lulu, sorry, working while listening. This is my first live stream. Well, Lulu, we're glad you made it, and I appreciate you kicking me on at work and listening to us while you're working. Do stay safe wherever you're at working, and definitely welcome to your first live stream. We're glad to have you. Mugs up to you. Always glad to have a new live streamer in the house. Anna, what exactly is the Discord people keep mentioning, and how can one join? We have a Working Dragon Mystic Discord community. And if you go to the About section on the YouTube channel, preferably after the stream is over, you'll see a link to the Discord to join. And it's essentially you can download the Discord app on your computer or your phone, and it's just a free little kind of community message board where practitioners get together. We share research ideals. We got a great community, people building up friendships. And we really look out for each other, help each other out with problems, whatnot. Occasionally, actually, there's a group of us in the mornings. We'll drop into voice chat, half asleep, drinking coffee and telling jokes. That's kind of become the morning routine anymore. Um, Luna, Peachy, myself, Born, you'll find us in there quite often just goofing off. This week we've been picking on Peachy. That's kind of been this week's theme. But we really do. We talk about magic, answer questions as best we can, and help each other out. And it's also a great way to ask questions of the community or myself. I'm in there almost every day, if not every day. Actually, the admin keep telling me to take days off because I'm in there every day. So yeah, the link will be in the About section. But for what it's worth, I didn't know what Discord was either. Someone actually made me join Discord. I was in another community, and a friend of mine set this one up for the channel and then gave the Discord to me. I didn't know you could do stuff like that. I'm not technologically smart. Thanks, Tara. You got it. Appreciate it. Well, the long black dress, that would be a nice lady. She's a nice lady, not Dementor. That would actually be the goddess Hell. She's here as well. Let's see. Woo! Jump. Oh crap, it jumped. Okay. No, be nice to the newbies, Born. Do pick on Peachy. Born's got a point there. We got to stick with the theme. Let's see. Luna, thank you for the tip. I appreciate it. Yes, thank you. That also, people, if you want to donate to the channel, help us out, keep on the lights, keep doing what we're doing. You can donate through the super chat. Also, if you have a very important question, and as you all have heard multiple times, the stream jumps on me and I can't keep up with it. If you drop it with a super chat, it flashes it up really big on the screen and makes sure I see it. So, yeah. You don't think you have any questions to ask today? Well, cool. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that at all. No, Lulu, don't worry. It's a nice bunch over there. Honestly, I got to say, I've been pretty blessed with that community that's been started. We've only had 2 trolls the whole time come in, which was really great. Knock on wood. Don't want to jinx myself there. Got a good group of admin helping me out. And honestly, the community themselves, everyone there, even the non-admin, they're very helpful. Um, I've been really blessed to have it. It's a really great community. It's definitely more the community than it is me. I show up, I say hi, I answer questions, but really what makes it such a great place is the community and not me. Peachy says, "Come on, people, get the likes up. We got 24 in here and only 19 likes. So yeah, smash that like button. Let YouTube know you like the work we're doing." Drake, baneful magic is a type of magic. What is some other types of magic you know of? Well, Austin, magic can be divided into a lot of different categories. Baneful is one of the big ones that people focus on because it is the magic with intent to do harm. Um, some people just refer to that as black magic, but then black magic also covers a bit more than just that in some people's definitions. And of course, some people, myself included, magic's energy. Magic is magic is magic. So it would depend on how you break it down and categorize it. So you've got baneful magic, you would have dragon magic, you would have draconian magic, you would have herbal magic, sigil magic, runic magic, golder magic, angelic magic, demonic or infernal magics. Evocation could easily be viewed as its own category of magic as well as invocation. Weather magic actually is a pretty big area of magic that I know a lot of magicians study. So, I mean, you can really just sit down and just start busting through them. It really depends on how you break down magic itself. Again, baneful magic is just one of those massive categories that it incorporates. It's an umbrella term to incorporate all magic that would fall under that with intent to do harm. So that's one reason it gets so much attention in that. I hope that helps answer your question a bit there, Austin. Uh, Iraz asks, "Is there any other fallen angels other than Lucifer that are well known other than Lucifer?" Actually, Lucifer himself didn't even actually fall. That is actually a mistrope. But in the category with him that would be popular, Azazel, Shemyaza, Samiel are probably the 3 larger names of angels that have known to have or thought to have fallen. And all 3 of those also did not fall. Bestest Wolf says the community is amazing for sure. Awesome. Thank you for the plug there, Wolf. I am really, really happy for the community. You guys make this job so awesome. And honestly, anytime I'm in there answering questions, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like I'm goofing off. Let's see, mysterious type. So I seem to keep hearing about a place called the In-Between or the sub-astral realm. Apparently, some spirits go there and some don't. Thoughts? Okay, this is another word I've been hearing a lot in the last month or two. And it's a new term. And anytime there's a new term, I try to find the base of it. And the only base of this word that I've been able to find is a TV show, which is a fictional show of a psychic or medium, which ironically is based down in Seattle, And they refer to the in-between as entities that aren't passed on and aren't really here either. They're stuck in that in-between spot. That said, in order to answer many of the questions I've gotten in email, I've had to dig into it deeper. What is it? What's it representing? And the reality is, what the in between is actually representing, if you look to the factual occult lore, it's representing what's known as the crossroads. It's kind of the area between all areas. And the crossroads is an area that literally is between all planes. And you have to pass through it anytime you move in and out of different planes in one way or the other. You have many entities that are actually guardians of these crossroads. Hecate is one of these entities, so is like Papa Legba and other well-known crossroad entities. So anytime a spirit wants to move on, they will have to pass through the crossroads. So in Norse mythology, the crossroads is also known as the path of hell, Hel, and that is the path the spirit would take from life onto as it goes to Helheim. But they would still be passing through that crossroads, and one of hell's job is to actually help guide those on that path. But that is, at least from the news up and coming of this word, the in-between, that is everything I've found on it. It is just a new word for spirits that haven't passed on and haven't gone to the cross or haven't passed the crossroads. They're just kind of staying there. They're not making a decision one way or the other. And which makes sense when you look at a psychic or a medium show. They really get big on the stuck spirit concepts. I want to study dragon and green magic. Both would be great practices, Tara. They really would. Let's see, Selena. Would a deity appreciate playing an instrument or making a drawing, painting to them? I don't want to offend any of them and seem as being lazy. Actually, yeah, entities absolutely do love gifts of music or poetry or paintings or something. They don't view that as lazy at all. That is you literally creating something in their honor. And they absolutely do love that, Selena. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Let's see, another question. Do you know of any word in the magical world that goes something like Gobochini? I actually have heard a similar word like that came from a form of Glossolala, which most people have probably heard of Glossolala more, well, at least here in the States, as speaking in tongues. And the idea is very simple. Energy and or consciousness begins to flow through you, and you begin to basically speak in a form of gibberish. But that gibberish actually has an energetic connection and power behind it, and is connecting you to power and the other side, and usually comes through when you're trying to connect with entities or energetic currents that have an intelligence to them purposely. So when we're talking about smaller kids or even teens, Glossolala is actually pretty easy for them to slip into. That is that's my first guess. As far as any direct translations or did this come from a specific language, that I can't say. It does not look familiar in that way to me. I apologize. Lulu, what are your thoughts of working with Loki? I adore him. I love hanging out with Loki. My wife actually views herself as a daughter of Loki. She works with him all the time, so he is always running around the house. And he's always welcome here. He's always been a hoot. I work with Odin a lot, so naturally, Odin and Loki being blood oath brothers, you really can't work with one without working the other in some capacity, one way or the other. But I have highly enjoyed Loki. I recently recommended him to one of my students. They were in a bit of a rut and they could use a big pick me up. And Loki had reached out to them and they weren't sure about it. And I said, no, if he's reaching out to contact him. I was like, you need a smile and a laugh. There's no doubt about that. You contact Loki and you'll get your smile and a laugh, I promise. And she did. She got her smile and her laugh. I absolutely adore working with Loki. He is an entity of chaos. Don't get me wrong. But I like a little chaos. Chaos is good. So yeah, definitely love that aspect of him. He is a sorcerer. He is a shape changer. He is a trickster god. But everything he does, he has a reason to do, and that reason is to benefit you and to cause you to grow. Doesn't mean you're always going to like the path he takes, but you will grow, you will progress, and you'll end up having a lot of fun along the way too. Let's see here. Oh God, hold on. Oh, Tara, I love that. When referring to fallen angels, basically, does that translate into Yeet the book? No, there are angels that have fallen. They have broken oaths or something like that. But when they fell, they lost their power as well. So any angel like Azazel or somebody, had they fallen, they would have lost all power and would have lost all angelic status entirely. So there are angels that have fallen, and there are some areas where lore is accurate. Usually, these angels are not named. I've not actually found one where its actual name is named. Um, but I don't yeet books in general because even within the pages of religious text can be found really, really beautiful pearls of wisdom. You just kind of got to read between the lines and not read literally, but try and understand what message to the greater people that the author might have been trying to convey. Psalms and Proverbs in the Bible is a really great example of this. Uh, let's see, Selena, I had to take a break from the practice a while back. I noticed a lot of dead birds on the street again, picked it back up again, and haven't seen a single one since. Weird. That does happen. You will notice that. There's practitioners do have a hard time stepping away from the practice. Once you open the door to the greater multiverse, the multiverse knows you're there. It knows you know it's there. And you really don't get to close that door. That doesn't mean it's going around killing birds because you stepped away. Don't get that. That's not what I'm saying. But it will take natural events to try and get you signs and get you information in order to get you working to better progress yourself again. Those birds would have died all the same. It's just they would have died in a different location. So you didn't kill them. I'm not saying that. Let me make that perfectly clear. Very fascinating. Thank you for your answers tonight. Very useful. Iris, I am very happy to help you. I'm very happy to answer what questions I can. Jay, have you ever worked with Thor? Yes, actually, I do. I work with Thor quite a bit, from not as often as Odin and Loki. Loki. Um, but yeah, I do work with Thor quite a bit. I enjoy working with him. He has a fascinating work ethic, which I enjoy. And honestly, when it comes to working on workout routines, overcoming different obstacles in my life, he's really my go-to guy. And I love also just getting the chance to sit down and talk to him. The dude is just so down to earth. Um, he's he is like the perfect guy's guy god to sit and have a beer with. And I've even heard girls describe him this way. It's like they can sit and have a drink with him. And I actually know my friend Katrina was describing him, and she was talking about having a martini or, she always enjoys another fruit drink. I forgot what it was. Not that martinis are fruit, but it's some kind of fruity drink. And she was sipping on that while he was chugging his ale, and they were having a wonderful conversation. It's just his personality. I really do enjoy working with him. In fact, I've actually considered dedicating an entire path working to him for a while. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're still moving here. Moving. You agree? It's nice to hear me say that. Thank you. No problem. No problem. I just say it like I see it. Doesn't mean I'm always right, but I will. You at least know where I stand. Austin, Drake, what are some more complex ways the dragons kill? I'm not sure I understand the question. Uh, Austin, I'm not really sure I understand the question. Let's see. Elizabeth, welcome. Glad you could join us. Let's see. Peachy, any tips on channeling safely? Okay, number one tip of channeling safely, make sure you know the entity, make sure you have a working relationship with it. Never invoke or channel something you don't know. That is my number one tip. Because no matter how you do it, no matter what someone tells you, when you channel or invoke, that energy affects you and leaves a fingerprint and will make an alteration to your energy that will emulate the entity that you are evoking or channeling. So it is absolutely important that you understand what it is you're working with. That's number one. And that one is a pet peeve for me because the way they've tried to love and light and fluffy bunny evocation and channeling has ruined many practitioners' lives. So that's big right there. Secondly, make sure you have a solid, and I do mean solid, meditation and grounding practice before you get into these two practices. Um, and then you want to make sure you are solid and I would say have no troubles with trance work. None. You overcome all your difficulties with trance work. Um, those would be the things I would really focus on. And if you got those down, then you can enter into those practices relatively safe. I'm not going to say any magic's safe. There's always an unknown factor somewhere, but those would be the ways that I would do so and maintain relative safety. I hope that helps, Peachy. Bernold is safest way to channel. Don't. That's true answer. That's a true answer. Because like I just said, there's no way to eliminate all there is. Yeah, don't channel. Okay. Good to see some information's getting around. Let's see. Ia says, Odin has helped me so much through some magical stuff, and I want to give something back. Ideals. Okay. Yeah, I got some ideals. First off, one of the best things you can give Odin, um, other than your time, and just you could easily start offering up a daily hailing ritual to Odin, like the hailing ritual we have here, and light some incense to him and do that every day for a month, just as a single way to say thank you. You could also offer him a bottle of mead if you can get mead where you're at, which, if I remember right, mead I would think would be easy in your area. Might not be. I don't know. He also does enjoy wine or just good, hearty ales and beers. So think of a good, hearty, full bodied ale, beer, or lager. He really does enjoy those. You could also offer that up to him. All those would be absolutely great. Another one is you could even do a piece of artwork and dedicate it to him. I know he loves that, especially poetry. As the god of poetry, he loves some poetry. Let's see here. What do we got? Olivia. When my older sister works with Thor, it usually rains out of nowhere. Has anyone else experienced this? Olivia, that is actually pretty normal. It's funny because Thor is not actually the god of thunder as so many people think he is. He is actually more of a god of protection, god of harvest, god of work, god of crops. Now, with the crops, you do get the rain. So when Thor's blessings rain down onto Midgard, aka our world, it does tend to come in the form of rain. So yeah, that's actually pretty well known. He gets his god of thunder reference, not directly as he's a god of thunder, but it was said that the sound of thunder, just the sound, not the cause of it, but the sound was Thor's hammer cracking on top of a giant's head. Was, but yeah, the rain thing is pretty normal. Lauren, I love Thor, such a great example of masculinity as well as what a good dude. Yes, he is very awesome, definitely. EW, thank you. You're welcome. Let's see. Peachy, thank you so much. No problem, Peachy. Glad I could help. That is actually a topic I should probably talk more about. Yeah. Terror, rest in peace, drink all my tea, no more. Ooh, bummer, my man. Bummer. Always bad to hear. I'm locked and loaded in the coffee department here. I came prepared. Let's see, Selena. Anybody seen Sabrina's Chilling Adventures? Thoughts on it? You know, when we first started Magical Coffee Hour, I had a co-host, Linda. She made me watch that. At least the first two, was it 2 or 3? 2 or 3 seasons, something like that. I had mixed thoughts. Some of it was interesting. Some of the lore pieces and the little nuances I kind of enjoyed. But overall, the art didn't make a lot of sense, and it seemed a little too teen drama-y for me, which, honestly, if you ask me, I think that was the point the writers were shooting for. So that would make a lot of sense. Don't know that I'd sit down and watch it again, but yeah, I did find it interesting to sit and watch at least once. And I did like their take on many, many things. Austin Drake, I've watched many of your videos. How long have you been a magician? Um, 15, 20 years ish. I'd have to check my journals. It's been so long I've lost track of time, to be honest with you, man. It's been a while. It has been a while, and it has been a wild and fun ride. A lot of learning. And growing up in Kentucky, yeah, there wasn't a lot to start with. Luckily, I had friends and met some interesting people that was able to help me out. And that's one thing. I know how hard it can be to get that information. That's one reason this channel is important to me. I want to be able to supply the information for people to find their path and progress as much as possible. We all have a set amount of time here on this earth, and the harder the information is to get, the harder it can be to progress. So I figure if I make the information easier, then more advances, more understanding, more research can be had, and perhaps we can take this thing Magick far farther than it's ever been taken before. And it's my way of giving back to those who helped me and blessed me along my way. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, I make my own mead. I homebrew, so I always have several bottles on hand at the bare minimum. But that is definitely, I figured it'd be easy to get there. But yeah, that's always a great offering for Odin. Food, he'll take food as an offering, but if you read the Eddas, you find out Odin really doesn't eat that often, if at all. It says that he sustains himself on wine alone. The food he gets, he usually gives to his wolves, but he'd still take it as an offering. Let's see, terror. If you draw or create physical gifts, non-food, for your favorite entity, is there any power you leave in the creative piece that could benefit the entity, such as positive energies they can take? Yeah, they can definitely take the energies that you put into it while painting it and dedicate it to them. One of my favorite things, though, is if you're going to do an artwork and dedicate it to them, keep that in your workspace with them. That way, anytime you say a simple prayer of thanks or anything to them, you're also putting energy back into it for them. And it acts as a natural connection between you and them, not just a singular thank you, but a continued thank you, which is one reason artwork is so great. And that's one reason I tell people I like to write my own healing rituals, because every time I do that healing ritual, this is something I wrote myself, working with the entity, talking to the entity, researching the entity. So that healing ritual is coming from my heart. This is really, truly how I see them, how I know them. So every time I recite it, not only is it a healing ritual and in some cases even used as an evocation, but it's offering up that art and that creativity to them every time as well. Yeah, I wasn't too happy with the Lilith portrayal myself. Won't lie on that one, Selena. Are dragons all light beings? No. Are they noble? Yes. 99.9% of dragons are noble. The 0.1% that isn't are ones that actually disobey the draconic laws and would deviate from that. Are they light beings? No. Dragons work within the balance, so they can't all be light beings and work within the balance. You have to balance both light and dark to actually function. And this is where dragons really excel. They do work on both sides of the fence. That's even represented within the nine rulers, because you do have two elements that are the dark halves, even in the lower elements, which is earth and water, and then fire and air. I think it is. It's usually represented as the two lighter of them. And then, of course, when you move up, you've got your direct duality with darkness and light rulers. And then the spirit is the balancing of those two. And then above that, and it's neutral. It's neither light nor dark. And above that, you move into the maelstrom, which is absolute, total, unadulterated primal change. And then above that, you have the chaos dragons, which work within the void. And their entire thing is destruction and creation. There's no light, there is no darkness. It's just destruction and creation in the story. So no, all dragons are not light, but all dragons and do strive to live a noble life. And let's see, should a person be afraid of Azazel? Do you have to protect yourself against Azazel to work with Azazel? Should a person be afraid with Azazel? This is really going to depend on the person. Secondly, you're not going to be able to protect yourself against an entity on the level of Azazel, Lucifer, the rulers. This is a pipe dream and a security blanket that makes you feel good at best. I know a lot of magicians who've tested this. And any entity on Azazel's level that wants to punch through a ward or a protection is going to get through it like a toddler tearing into a Happy Meal. He will have no issues at all if he chooses. That said, what do I mean when I say should the person be afraid of it? Technically, no. Technically. Azazel's big thing is going to be to help you be the best you can be and to drive you forward in your growth. Here's the caveat. He expects you to do the work, and he will drive you hard. He will push you, and he will push you way out of your comfort zone. And he does not do timeouts, and he does not care how badly he has to shake that snow globe to get you to move and change. If you put him in motion in your life, he will do whatever is necessary to get you to grow and reach the change that you have asked for. This can be absolutely terrifying for a lot of people, and it can be absolutely devastating to what they view as their current comfortable life. And yes, for many people, this kind of upset can be massively tragic. It can be a horrible upset and absolute chaos. You might even find yourself homeless for a week or two. But here's the thing, once you make it through this storm, this massive chaotic storm, you're going to come out far better than you ever imagined. Now, here's the other thing. A magician who understands these processes and understand what Azazel's doing, they're going to work with him. Therefore, that won't get that chaotic. It won't get that bad because working with him, he's not going to have to disrupt as much because you and him is going to be working together. When this happens, when he tears that much stuff up, it's because he's trying to help you. You're not listening, and he has to force it through. And if you force him to force it, oh, he will force it. He'll go get a steamroller and roll your tail over, but he'll get the job done. So in that case, if you're a procrastinator and if you're not ready to do the work and you're not really ready to dedicate yourself to the change you want to see, yes, I would say there's a reason to fear him. Otherwise, no. I mean, he's actually one of my favorite entities to work with, hands down. That's one of the reasons I did a video on him a while back. I absolutely love working with him. I love his no nonsense and direct approach. I hope that does answer your question a bit there, EW. Let's see. Tara, I recommend watching all of Dragon. Yeah, Tara Dar's right. I have an entire playlist on dragons and dragon magic. There's no such thing as a purely good dragon, EW. They all have some balances. Good and evil are strictly human concepts. They outside the human concept, good and evil do not exist within the multiverse. You always look at the old quote, what is normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. It is strictly a perspective. And Ingus, most people in here who's worked with him will say he's a great guy, absolutely wonderful guy. And he is. But good and evil are, again, a matter of perspective. And though I would definitely label him as good, definitely honorable. I could say he is fully honorable. And I can say that of all the dragons. But then he can be a dick. And when he does it, he has a reason. And it's a good reason. It's all dragons, first and foremost priority will always be the multiversal balance. Always. That's every dragon out there, especially the rulers. So you got to understand, they possess all aspects within them in order to maintain that balance. Let's see. Drive safe, Lulu. All right, we need to get ready to wind up here. I will go ahead and catch up on the questions we got up here. Remember, if you haven't already, though, to make sure to like the video. Also, if you're new here, catching us for the first time, and you like the information we're giving, maybe just enjoy hanging out with the live streams, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are made aware anytime we launch a new video or go live. We do try to go live at least twice a week, which we haven't missed one in a long time. We try to start the weekend and end the weekends with these, so it's a lot of fun. And it's always great to have y'all here. We do have a video coming out Tuesday. Like I said earlier, it should be the second in the rune class, so look forward to that. I know many of you have commented on how much you're enjoying the rune class already, and I hope I keep your love of the runes up the whole class. But it is good to know we're coming out of the gates on a high note. I was afraid the first 3 videos would be a little slow for y'all, so it's good to get those high notes. I appreciate it. We do have some announcements coming very soon. Hopefully next week we will be officially announcing the Yule artwork contest rules and how it's going to work and everything, so that We'll take fan art, get it voted on and everything to do a Yule coffee cup, limited edition for 2020, similar to how we did Halloween. So for you artists out there, start brainstorming some possible ideas. As always, the theme's going to be content we do here, Working Dragon Mystic, and Yule. Pretty simple. And I think that pretty much catches up on those announcements. Let's go ahead and take the last bit of these questions real quick. Don't want to leave anyone out. Selena, any good deities you recommend for procrastination? Really need to work on that to get over it. Selena, I actually would recommend Freya and Thor. Both of them are really good for working on procrastination and driving you to get up and get your work done. They really, really are. If it's more like house cleaning, physical labor, those kinds of things, I would lean more toward Thor. He'll help you in any way eliminating procrastination, but he does tend to lean more on the physical realm if you're concerned with that. If you're talking about magical procrastination and procrastinating in your magical practice, then I'd lean toward Freya. Again, she can help with procrastination across the board. But as I mentioned in my Freya video, she is very much going to push you and drive you forward and get you up and going and work with you and help, try to get you past your procrastinating natures. She doesn't like procrastination. That's one of the reasons she's good for this. But as long as you're trying, as long as you're putting that work forward, she can be very understanding. It's when you just sit down, pout, and give up, that's when she turns into a drill sergeant. But then again, that drill sergeant's what some people need, so it makes sense. So I would actually recommend those two, Selena. Let's see. Second one, Selena asked, especially dragons that can help with procrastination. On the dragon side of the matter, let's see. I would recommend 3 dragons, but I'm going to say 2 first. First off, I would recommend Zephyrsil because of his logic. He is going to use logic to drive you forward, to point out the why you need to get things done, why it's important to do it now so you have time to relax later, as well as Terrafauna because she has that steady as it goes, let's get it done, just keep plugging along attitude about her. Really great at that. So both of them are really great for overcoming procrastination for those reasons. Now, you say, Drake, that's nice. Those are very nice approaches. I don't listen to logic. I won't do it. Not going to happen. Okay, I get that. Or you say, slow and steady wins the race, ain't my speed. I won't listen to that either. I'll slow, steady, and sit myself back down. I get that. That's when I would go over to Ingus Salor, and he will literally light a fire under your tail to make sure you're running full steam the whole time till it gets done. He's a lot more brash. He's a lot more explosive about it, but he will help you. If you want help with procrastination, Ingus Salor will indeed help you. Just let him know. Just be ready for him to light that fire because he will. He will light you up to get you moving. But he can also be a lot of fun, so, you know. But those would be my 3 dragons I would recommend. No, Chaos Dragon's not good for procrastination. Their ideal of procrastination is it getting done? Yes or no? And you got to remember, they work within destruction and creation. So if something's not serving the multiverse a purpose, it's not doing what it's supposed to do, their job is to destroy it. Just eliminate the whole thing. If you're procrastinating and not doing your work, the last thing you want is a Chaos Dragon's help. Because they're going to go into, how do we fix this? Well, we destroy the problem. And their interpretation of that, I don't see any way that that's going to end up in a fun road, or, I mean, I'm not even sure it'd be beneficial. Yeah, I would definitely stay away from chaos dragons all around for procrastination. Not good. Stay with those lower rulers I mentioned. Yeah, Tara. No, that would be a bad one. Peachy, Cora's already been blessing me with 2 days of frog strangling rain. Seriously. Cora needs to take a time out. Go sit in the corner. We got enough water. We're fine. Go elsewhere. I'll send her down to you. Apparently, you all need more water. We don't need it. I would double check because rulers cannot be a guardian. They cannot accept that job because it interferes with their other duties. They cannot do it. He can help you with things around the house. That's actually not unusual. But to actually take up a position as a guardian, that they can't do. They're too old. And, well, honestly, they're too high ranking, too. Guardians are very, very young dragons. Only like 500 to 1,000 years old max. That's the reason they're so small. The rulers would never actually fill in those roles. They literally can't because of the laws. But they can help out. Oh, Ingus loves to cook. Ingus absolutely adores to cook. Okay, so other than Luna laughing at me there, we got all the questions handled. Hoorah! We did it. All right. Woohoo! Yay! So, with that said, everyone, I am going to have to say goodnight. I'm going to go bug my wife a little bit, see what she's up to. You all have a wonderful evening. If you haven't and you're interested, do join the Discord. Be always happy to see you over there. And I'm going to get back to trying to get some more research and videos made for you all, get some content coming. Again, thank you all for the wonderful comments and encouragements. I appreciate it. And I am glad you all are enjoying the channel. I did think I might actually say, why don't we try to see if we can get the channel to 6K by Yule? If we get to 6K by Yule, I will either pick a song or some Christmas story to read here live on stream, which anyone who knows me knows I'm not a Christmas guy. And embarrass myself that way. But I will do something like that for you all if we can get to 6K for the Yule stream, because I actually think we might actually have a stream actually on Christmas or Christmas Eve this year. Actually, we might. So let's try and get to 6K, or even 5.5K would be great if we can do it by Yule. So tell your friends, your family, your loved ones, anyone you think would be interested in what we're doing here. Share the channel, share the videos, and let's get those subs up, and let's see me have to sing or read a Christmas poem or story here on the channel. Also, be brainstorming on the artwork for the Christmas mug. You all always do fantastic work with that. And I will let you know next week what the official rules will be, as well as where to submit your entry. With that, everyone, you have a fantastic freaking weekend. Get yourselves up to some good shenanigans. Have fun. Stay safe. And caffeinated, always. And I'll see you on Sunday, people. Later.